Would you like to know a secret? I was born with a silver spoon. But it's only because my family used to work at the factory in Oneida. It's about as good as I think I've been able to make whiskey taste. Jameson and ginger. I was telling a friend this morning that at this point in my life, like, I don't hate anyone, because mostly I've always ever just loved everyone, even people I shouldn't have. And, you know, like, I said it was like, I'm too old to hate everyone, or like to hate anyone anymore. Like, I just, like, there's not hate within my heart, yeah? But I'm still Irish, so I do get a little bit angry. Like, I still have a temper, you know? And perhaps that's just Piscean nature additionally. This is a gift from my grandmother recently. Still a little dusty. Is it not gorgeous though? I don't know who made it. You can't even read it. Yay, family heirlooms. Something to be treasured. Just like all of my old storybooks. This really is about as good as whiskey can taste. I guess unless you're drinking it neat and it's really good whiskey, but you know. My friend the Salty Dog is messaging me on Discord like, I made internet friends, hurrah. Although, somebody, this poor motherfucker, right? He's like, got wicked long hair like me, and was walking down the street the other day. He's like, I can't even let my hair down in public because people fucking harass me and fucking shit. And somebody called him a fucking faggot as he was walking by, and he's like, I just had to like not make eye contact and walk away. And I'm sitting here like, bro, don't you live in Live Land? Like, this motherfucker lives in like Colorado or some shit. And I'm like, dude, I live in North Carolina. Like, I mean, well, no, my friend Kara did get chased down in a grocery store like that too. I don't know. Amongst my like, me and my friends growing up, we used to call each other faggots for fun, but obviously it's intent and tone, right? It's like, but that made little to no sense to me. Like, how and why, like, if you live in liberal land, that, like, it could just be like that, you know? It's a shame. No one should. I was telling him, I'm like, you know, it goes out of your head. If people are gonna harass you for that, like, you know, fuck them. It's easy to say fuck them until you're like, you know, gasping for air, fucking head slammed into the floor. Trust me, I've been there. This angry Irish temper definitely brings more trouble than it's worth most of the time. But, you know, as someone else would say in the kingdom of media, what is it? Rage with the machine. As Rage with the Machine would say, anger is a gift. But I suppose it's always how you use it. So, I may have been born with a silver spoon and found my way among some very interesting people along this wild adventure that is life. And I've been sitting here contemplating because I was, and perhaps I'm foolish for this, but I was given a key a long time ago. I was told to keep it, and I was always just kind of curious if it had anything to do with anything else. I mean, perhaps I'm just chasing ghosts. Who knows? Anyways, the intention of this was to read some poetry and talk less Southern than I am comfortable, or than is natural for me to do. It's like, it is what it is. Oh no, my focus is out of range. I have to sit like this so you can see the Pink Floyd poster in the background right about there. It's all of these ladies, and it's just their backs, and they have all of the Pink Floyd album covers on them. Maybe I shouldn't have pointed that out, but I did, just to prove that I'm more observant than any of you ever give me credit for. Guess that's why I was given a key. And dragged around all these people. You know, what, am I supposed to be a cute little spy? Like, no, I'm way too stupid for that. I'm obviously just semi-psychic sometimes, and I have absolutely no control of it. So you think I'm smarter than I am, but I'm really just a dum-dum. All the time. But, you know, a lot of people are really dumb, and I guess that's why all of this is such a disaster. Like, because beyond the superficiality of everything, you know, there's a lot of, like, complications regarding human interaction and association and opinion sharing and everything. So I will give you swirly liquid hands and share something I wrote the other day. You so surely sit above me, from low below I look up, affectionately gazing at the glitter of your cup. Though surely simple I may seem, could have sworn I saw you admiring this bucolic dream. Although we sit apart, our bonds are a familiar strife. This duality of nature amuses me so that many of them will never know the meaning of these sordid stories or what made them truly so. In astrology, they say, you know, the Piscean creature as a silly, foolish drunk. And this is my first and will be only beverage of the evening. I'm not 13 anymore, jeez. But you know, astrology also mentioned that Piscean creatures, they can get lost in these lands of delusions and dreams. Sometimes those dreams come true, though. That's where the psychic shit comes in. That's a whole other method, you know, whole other means of understanding reality and mythology. Like, I had a dream one time about, it's like, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I'm a super weeb, but it was like a Chinese unicorn, and I woke up and I drew this thing, and they're real in mythology. It was likened to a giraffe, but in my dream it wasn't a giraffe at all. It was a dragon head that kind of looked horse-like, the body of a deer, but it had the tufts of fur, like in the mythos, and it was scaly, like greenish blue, and like the hair was floating up, and it was like orangey and yellow, and like, you know, and it talked to me telepathically. Apparently they have something to do with like the passing of a sage or the birthing of a sage. They're lucky and benevolent despite how scary, you know, dragons can be. But it was knelt down. You know how like cats or deer will like fold their little hooves under? It was like that. Anyways, like the thing about Pisces too, that I'm like meaning to not let my ADHD get the best of me. It's undiagnosed ADHD, just for the record, but that shows how good of medical care I can afford. You know, the measure of a society is how you treat the worst of them. You know? The worst of them. Like, anyone's ever better than anyone else, really. Like, but they say that Pisces will fall into these delusional realms, yeah, where they'll never accomplish anything because they're daydreaming their lives away. And the paintbrush will gather dust, and they'll be too shy or insecure or sensitive to put their content out there into the world. And I have spent a lot of time making things, and I see people all the time making things. I do not necessarily wish to be successful in traditional means, or in many ways I consider my own life to be a great success, even if it doesn't appear so from the outside. Like, perhaps I'm settling, but that's okay too. It's just sometimes being too shy to share, or feeling all the pressures of everyone and everything to be who you aren't, is, you know, maybe sometimes you just have to be yourself and be okay with yourself changing and the world changing around you and time changing you. And I mean, all of these things are inevitable, like, always. So it's like, this is me not being too shy to share with the world. And some of you, I don't know how you even do it. Really, really. I honestly would be so super terrified to like just put my life on out there, like, oh hey everyone, I'm going into the deepest, darkest parts of my life. I'm talking about political things. You know, like, just let me not get into the tinfoil hat to tree by saying that, like, you're aware of sometimes what has happened in hidden history to humans, right? Like, meow, 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 meow. No one will ever see this, so it's worth me being that asshole. I object to this abuse of power. And furthermore, I wish all of you a happy new year. May it be filled with joy and merriment. Joy and merriment. Because the world needs a lot of that. Love has to win. Love is what brought us here. And maybe winning is the wrong word to even define these concepts by. And love, not necessarily romantic either. I mean, just like love and understanding and humanity. These are always my intents and wishes for the world. And that's why I often listen to music, to vent out all of these frustrations. Something that I always thought was a private matter, my own personal space. Tell me, how has the psychoanalysis gone so far? If you would like my help, I am here to offer it in what capacity I'm capable of. And understanding the capacity of what is possible is pretty important. Oh, if I could just look into the screen like a human instead of looking over to see what I actually look like as I'm talking to you. I wasn't really cut out for this, you know. That's why I labor and make art and stuff. Would you like to see my most recent piece? It's kind of pretty. Well, I have two. Well, three. One's on this town. Fancy. Okay. So this isn't all the way done yet either, but it's getting there. I like it because it kind of looks like neon. Like, you know, right? And this one looks even more neon-y and awesome. And this one, I bought all these dollar store frames. So it's like, I'm like, oh wow, I love holographic shit. And then the occurrence happened to where it was like, what do you put in holographic frames? You know, like what matches that other than like a photograph? I'm not gonna put a photograph in there. Like, is this the right way? No, it's this way. You can still see the reflection of the camera. The curse of glass. But it's the same kind of, you know, rainbowy pastel gel pen goodness. Do I look like, what is it? Oh yeah, everything's backwards. The girl with the pearl earring? Or someone on the World Wide Wild Webs? You know, how interconnected everything is truly a perplexing endeavor, isn't it though? I often find myself just maybe hyper-analyzing, but it's doing so with a bit of knowing. And yeah, I know this looks like urine. And no, I don't have any moonshine just sitting around, but I do know some people that make some. But no, you can't have any. You, all of you out there, I mean, fuck, I don't know. Maybe if I ever met any of you, I would offer you some moonshine. You could hang out in my backyard next to the fire and, you know, climb the mulberry tree. It's actually it's wonderful to be here in a lot of ways. And from here, who knows where life will go. Regardless, I'm excited to see it. For the culmination of this last little bit of time, you know? It's just been so... It's kind of a little bit of everything, actually. Whoever would have thought that life could actually be like this? Sort of a testament to the ingenuity of humanity now. You can call it whatever you want to, but it is a bit of a spark. May the world keep turning. Always. And you're welcome, because in my mind a long time ago I felt like humanity really maybe is fucking this up too much and shouldn't exist. I was around some people who felt that way too, which is why you know, some of the current events talking about biological warfare and things like that. There really are some people out there who think like that, and they honestly terrify me, which is why I kind of live out here away from as much of the city as possible, despite the city world always wanting to bring me back in. Always. Huh. I stopped raining. They said we were gonna get snow. It went from 70 degrees in 24 hours to potentially snow. That is a sudden shift. And I believe I said a while ago, it's like something along the lines of like, you can't expect things to change overnight, but things can shift suddenly. I guess that's just how the energy goes and flows. Before I make this any longer, I really do wish you all well and a wonderful and happy fucking new year, you know? Hi, Ahsoka. Hey, yo. Come here. Oh, you're gonna jump on the table. Well, please don't knock over my fancy grandma vase. I'm gonna keep forever. Hi. Showing your fluffy butt off. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Here, come here. Not you. Ayo, yes, I love you. I love you so much. She did a parry to party. We got the sucker-san. You know, I always wanted, like, love in its traditional sense to be deconstructed. And, you know, they always say revolutions start in the mind, yeah. And I really do feel like, it's like, there's so many people that it's like like, in my own life, like, I don't think I don't consider myself monogamous. Like, I mean, I'm not fucking around right now. But it's like, that shit is, there are people that, like, come and go into your life and out of your life, and, like, you connect with them and drift apart from them, and I'm pretty amazed at, like, what is possible in your own mind and in the world, always. Like, you're only sitting on my lap until I feed you. You know, I'm pretty sure you got fed earlier. But building a home is, like, pretty crucial. Having a home, having life, having friends, family. Like, having maybe is even the wrong word. Someone gave me a book one time when I was, like, in club world, that I actually did appreciate that individual. Because I mean, whenever I can have pseudo-intellectual conversations with anyone, it's a happy sign. He wanted me to go see the Phantom of the Opera with him, though. And I never hung out with those people outside of that world. It's like, no, keep that shit, like, well away from my real life. It's like, you can see my exposed boobies. Be nice. Like, that's what you get, motherfuckers. You know? Like, but anyways, it's To Have or To Be by Eric Fromm. It's a book. And I read it. I usually don't have the attention span to read books. It takes me a long time to do so, cover to cover. Unless I'm really, really into them. I get into podcasts mostly because I like to fall asleep listening to things, and because they, if there are crafty or artistic-y things happening, I don't have to use my hands and my eyes to focus on that material. I can kind of multitask. And sometimes doing that, I think, has shaped me into who I am right now. I'm not sure if it's for the better or the worse. And who knows? I'm probably not psychic. Maybe it's just a lucky guess. It's funny, like, to guess things out of the blue and then to, like, never actually see what's right in front of your face sometimes either. Yeah, Pisces are not the brightest stars in the sky. The astrology books are definitely right about that one. That's, oh, sorry. That did kind of hurt you. Like, be alright, you're a tough animal.
It is not good to be so tight, tough, and be fluffy. Fluffy and soft. And flowy and free.
I mean, certain forms of not freedom are interesting. But I digress. And who knows, maybe this should be edited because it is unfocused. Although, it's nice to be kind of natural and stupid and free-flowing and, like, just not so serious all the time. Okay, I'm gonna go feed this animal. And maybe eat more birthday donuts. Because it is time for celebration. It's not my birthday. It's John Daly's birthday. He's an old man now. But sometimes I still think my soul is older. I'm right here. Oh, and if you think that that's what this is about, it really isn't. Also, these are the birthday donuts. They're all homemade and they're super yummy.